Drifting looks sick, right? We all know that. Big angle, high horsepower, tire smoke, the whole 9 yards. But before you go all in buying a 240 SX off Marketplace, here are some things you should think about. Because drifting is much more than clutch kicks, sliding around with the boys, and TikTok edits. It's time consuming, it's expensive, and if you're not prepared, it'll drag you down and you'll hate it before you even step foot on the track or do a couple track days and learn to really slide your car. So let's talk about the reality of drifting. Budget, time, knowledge, and getting your car to and from the track safely. Sorry to kill your fantasy right off the bat, but drifting is not cheap. You don't just buy a beater drift car and expect to become an FD driver within a year. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the budget of drifting. First things first, there's the car, of course. If you get a cheap entry-level drift car, you're a couple $1,000s, with a couple $1,000s in mods to make it slidable and legal for the racetrack. On top of the car, you have tires, and even more tires. You don't just want to show up to the track with bald tires, do 3 laps, and then go home. If you think you're going to go through a set of tires for the weekend, bring 2 or 3 sets of tires for the weekend. On top of tires, you have fuel, not only for your race car, but your truck also, assuming you're towing your vehicle to the track. And sometimes these events can be hours and hours of way depending on where you live. The nearest track could be 3 or 4 hours each way. And don't even get me started on entry fees. Entry fees can range from $100 for an event up to $500 for an event. So that is a big toll to consider before you make that leap into the sport. Now, yes, drifting can be done on a stricter budget, but these are just all things to consider before you make that leap into the sport. And if you leap into the sport with unrealistic expectations, you will hate it, sell your car halfway through the build, never make it to an event, do one event and your car breaks and you have no more money, so you gotta sell it. So you really have to set up a strong, firm budget before you jump into the sport. Now, drifting isn't just about driving your car, like we've discussed. It's about fixing things constantly. Ask me how I know. I'm in the middle of fixing my car right now. You have to think about these things. If you break something at the track and it's a multi-day event or you have to get home, you're going to be getting that car fixed for the next however long it takes to be able to drive the next day or even just get the car home. Something I had to do last weekend. You have a drift event coming up this following weekend. Guess what you're doing all week after work? Prepping the car, mounting tires, maybe washing the car if that's up your alley. I typically don't because I'm lazy. Now, I'm not joking when I say drifting has literally become my second job. Probably I do more hours on my second job drifting than I do my real job, but chances are it will become the same for you. If you're not fixing your car, you're thinking about fixing your car, thinking about upgrading your car, or upgrading your car. So in your free time, it's dedicated to your car. Because, fixes don't take 45 minutes. They can take 5, 6, 7, 8 hours with a couple buddies. So a lot goes into fixing and preparing your car for the track. I mean, I've spent late nights, 2, 3 in the morning, all my weekends, all my free time, all the time I don't even have. I still go to the car when you're in a bind and you've already paid for an event, but your car broke and you've got to get to the event or you waste all the money. Because a lot of times tickets aren't refundable. So you really have to spend a lot of time on your car. I cannot stress it enough. If you do not have a lot of free time or you cannot make a lot of free time, this sport is not for you. We're going to interrupt this video very briefly for a quick word from our sponsor. It's really just Drift Labs. Check out the link down below. We have a bunch of cool merch, guys, and we sell some parts to help get you started for your very first drift build. I'd appreciate it deeply. Drifting isn't like picking up a basketball or going to the bowling alley or even going to the driving range with your buddies. You can't start drifting, or you shouldn't start drifting, without having some knowledge about cars, because like we've previously discussed in this video, you're constantly fixing and breaking things on your car, so you're going to need to know how to fix it or where to start at least. If you're scared to get dirty, drifting is not for you. You're going to need to know how to turn a wrench, get covered in grease, get covered in oil. All these things come into play with drifting. Now let me make it clear also though, you don't need to be a full-time mechanic to be able to drift and work on your car. I'm a YouTube mechanic myself. Everything I've learned about cars has been from YouTube, this and that. I've done motor swaps, motor rebuilds, transmission installs, angle kits, coilovers, pretty much everything that has been done to a car, I've now done, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. So you can 100% learn off YouTube. The way I look at it, it's just adult Legos. Now, one of the main reasons I say you need to know how to work on your own vehicle is because if you have to bring your car to a mechanic every time you break something, you're going to be spending tens of thousands of dollars off the track and only a couple $1,000s on the track. And you want to focus all that money to the track because that is where you get the enjoyment and the fun and the exhilaration. If you don't know how to work on your car, just start with the basics: oil change, suspension components. You don't need to do motor swaps and full rewire a chassis like I've done and all these things. You could do basic mods and get to the track. But at the end of the day, YouTube is free, knowledge on the internet is completely free, so there's no reason you shouldn't be able to make that jump and learn about the vehicles. Now that we've discussed you buying a car, working on the car, your budget, how are you going to get the thing to and from the track? That's the next big thing you have to think about. And for myself, I street drove my car to the track one time when I bought my car, and I made that decision never again. So guess what I did? Got a second job over the winter, saved up enough money to go buy a truck. I really recommend having a truck. Obviously, it's not necessary. You 100% can street drive your car to the track. Now, if something breaks that you can't fix at the track, now how are you going to get it home? Like we've discussed, you could be 4 hours from home and you got no way to get it home. You having a tow company come out and drive your car 4 hours home is going to cost you, if I had to guess, probably $1,000, if not more. So if you want to seriously get into the sport and drift and drive hard and aggressive with your buddies, I think a truck and trailer is 100% necessary. I've had a truck, I've rented a trailer, I actually just bought myself a trailer a couple days ago, so I'm super excited about that. Now, if your car is street legal and you don't really have the room for a truck or can't afford a truck, you can absolutely drive it to the track. I would tame my driving down a little bit if I were to do that, but the day that car breaks at the track, you're going to sit there and be like, man, wish I had a truck and trailer right now. And now let me make it clear. I'm not saying you need to go buy a truck and trailer tomorrow before you buy your car, but eventually that moment's going to hit where you look down at your car broken at the track and go, that's it, I need a truck and trailer. So I would think about that and make sure you're stashing money away every paycheck for when that moment does come. Now, drifting is one of the most addictive, committed, rewarding forms of motorsports there is. But it's not for the uncommitted. It costs money, eats a ton of time up, it'll break your car. But if you're passionate and if you're smart about it, and you can grind through the tough days of broken cars and long nights, it is 100% worth every minute and every dime. Start slow, learn your car and the chassis, try to make experienced friends in the community so you can help learn from them. Now, if you still want to get into drifting after listening to all these things you have to consider, drop a comment down below saying you're going to start drifting. If this video has helped you, hit the like button, subscribe please. We appreciate it deeply. Now I hope to see you guys at the track for the next event.